No, you're not feeling it. You're not. You don't. Wait, hold it.
Daddy, tell us what's on your mind.
You don't want to go that far yet to say they win the division?
Listen, it's early in the season. I picked the Eagles to make the playoffs.
Welcome back to the Lehocky Postgame Show. I'm Devin Caney, and it is time for my Diamond Debate presented by Mark's Jewelers. Guys, I'm wearing some new ice today. I don't know if you noticed.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know. A little blinding, a little shiny, a little ice cold like Jalen Hurts played in today's game.
Devin, don't let Kendra see that, please.
Wait. What are we rocking tonight? What do you got?
Tonight I have it's a two-piece. It's a choker and I don't know what you call this. A pendant, a diamond. Okay. Yeah.
It's a very large diamond that dangles there.
Quite large.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I just borrow that for like about a week? Just a week. Can you cover for me?
I'm gonna have to ask Mark's Jewelers about that one.
Now, last week you rolled out $35K on the neck. This is, I hear, more.
I think it's more, but I didn't ask because I didn't want to know.
Okay.
I don't need that responsibility, Mike. Yeah. Like the fact that they're even trusting me to wear this right now.
At any rate, it's the Diamond Debate.
Yes. Right? Okay, so Diamond Debate, and today's Diamond Debate is: have the Eagles solidified themselves as legitimate playoff contenders? 77% say yes. 2.6% say no, and the rest say too early to tell. Guys, I'm honestly a little bit undecided on this one because it is only week 2, but I do think the Vikings were one of the most. I mean, if you look ahead at the Eagles' schedule, they're a pretty talented team in terms of other opponents that the Eagles have to face. So I said before this game that if the Eagles did get a win, it was promising they could be, maybe a 12-win team this season. Mm-hmm. But now I'm a little bit, I'm kind of questioning myself on that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Mike, what do you think?
I don't think there's any question that they're a playoff contender. If you look at this division, first of all, Dallas, I know, listen, new quarterback, I get it. A lot of people, including Seth, thinks they're better off with Cooper Rush as the quarterback.
I agree.
Which I don't think at all. I think that first game was like the backup goalie theory where everybody had to play harder because they had the backup quarterback in there and the other team took them lightly. So I think the Eagles have the edge over the Cowboys right now. If they win the division, obviously they're in a good playoff spot. No, you're not feeling it. You're not. You don't. Wait, hold it.
Daddy, tell us what's on your mind.
You don't want to go that far yet to say they win the division?
Listen, it's early in the season. I picked the Eagles to make the playoffs. If they could make the playoffs last year at 9-8, they certainly can make the playoffs with the second easiest schedule in the NFL this year, and they're only going to be that much better. Listen, there's a lot of people out there that believe that the Minnesota Vikings were going to, for the first time in I think 10 years, supplant the Green Bay Packers as the NFC North, champions this year. And look what they did to them last week. So, and a lot of people when you looked at the power rankings, a lot of people had the Minnesota Vikings ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you look at how dominant they were tonight, you'd have to be crazy if you just looking at the rankings believe that the Eagles aren't going to be, a playoff contender.
Well, let's just look at the simple. Do you see anybody else winning this division right now?
No. On paper, no. But here's what I will add. I'll throw this in as a caveat. We're 8 days into the season. You have 3 teams that are 2-0. You have 11 teams out there that are 1-1. By week 5, week 6, the contenders are going to separate themselves from the pretenders. No question about it. Right now, you have to consider, when you talk about representatives of the NFC in a Super Bowl for this season, right now as we sit here tonight, you have to include the Philadelphia Eagles, because I have not seen another offense in the NFC that has been more impressive over 2 games than the Philadelphia Eagles now.
My only concern with the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was the same as what my concerns were last year when they went into the playoffs. Okay, they started off last year 2-5. The majority of the teams that they played through that 7-game, stint were playoff caliber football teams, and they didn't fare well. They gave up 42 to Kansas City. They turned around and gave up 41 to the Dallas Cowboys.
Correct.
When they got to the second half of the season, they played against teams. I mean, they were, for lack of a better term, they were just the sisters of the poor the last 10 games.
They played lousy quarterbacks.
But my point is, they're playing the second easiest schedule in the NFL.
Right.
By the time they get to the playoffs, if they get home field and they're in the top 2, they're gonna get an easy team to play in the first round.
True.
But in order for them to get to where they want to get to, the upper echelon teams in the NFC, they're not going to face those teams until they get to the playoffs.
Do you think
will
they
be
beat
ready
those
by
upper
then?
echelon teams, not just in the NFC East, but in the NFC?
Well, it's just like anything else. In my opinion, in order to beat good teams, you have to play good teams along the way. Then you can gauge those things and you understand what it takes, how to raise your level in order to get that done.
I will also add this as well. You have to learn how to win before you win.
Okay.
Now, the last thing, one of the main things we talked about all offseason leading into the season, when I say we, not us, but the consensus was this team had not beaten a team with a winning record, had not beaten a good team last year. They beat a team that was considered a good team. They smoked this team. They dominated this team. Okay, so that's a significant step in terms of learning how to rise to the occasion against better teams. Okay.
What was the question that you asked?
So the way it was worded,
the question was, are they a playoff contender
right now?
We dive
solidified
We go deeper,
themselves
Mike.
as a legitimate playoff contender.
Stay with us, Mike. Come on, Mike.
Hold it. Let's take it a little at a time. If they're going to win, do I think that they're better right now than Tampa Bay or the Rams or Green Bay? No, I don't know that. But they're good. They're the best team in their division right now.
Yeah, but I said you didn't hear what I said. I said as we sit here 8 days into the season, you have to include them in one of the elite teams in the NFC right now. From what we see, the Rams are struggling. Green Bay is still trying to figure out the receiving core. Okay, Tampa Bay. Brady has no offensive line.
Well, let me ask this. Do you think the Vikings are an elite team? Are they a good team?
I think they're a good team. I wouldn't consider them elite because when you look at their defense was not a dominant defense.
Do you think that they changed the whole Eagles haven't played a legitimately good team narrative?
As of right now, yes, because the Eagles had not beaten a team with a winning record. Okay, they finally beat a good team with a winning record that was coming off an impressive win against a Green Bay team that many consider as one of the favorites to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. So it's a gradual step in maturity for this team.
Listen, in order to answer your question, you have to ask yourself, if the Eagles took the field against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, would they win? If they took the field against the LA Rams, would they win? You have to ask yourself those questions.
There's a good chance.
If you're talking about Super Bowl,
right.
Yeah, I mean, but we're talking right now. By the time we get to the end of the season, if those two teams and if Green Bay's young wide receivers can find themselves, then you have to ask yourself. If we're talking about Super Bowl, then you have to ask yourself, can they legitimately, are they good enough? Have they played enough good teams leading into those types of matchups to be competitive against those three teams? Because one of those three teams are going to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC this year.
So? You don't include the Eagles right now?
No, listen, I'm not saying that they can't.
Okay,
because 2017 proved that anything can happen.
Okay, so when they play Green Bay this season, Green Bay will be well into their young receivers trying to find their way. They're going to play an Arizona team in a couple of weeks that had one heck of a comeback yesterday against a quarterback who's like a gnat. You can't swat him half the time. So those are also learning curves. If they beat those two teams, yes, we have to consider this team.
Listen, I agree. I need to see it because last year when
they're watching this show, Notice there was a tissue box here earlier.
What?
And one of our stagehands just took it away. I requested a tissue box.
Were you
because
crying?
I'm crying at their negativity.
Who's negativity?
I can't believe it. They're pulling back the reins.
You see, he's trying to suck us in, right?
After a game like this, you're pulling back the reins. They smoked this team 24-7, and you're going to go, well, let's hold on.
They smoked this team 24-7
Devin.
in the first half. They scored 0 points in the second.
Devin,
Hold on.
I think you have to have more positive questions if Mike is going to cry over the negativity of this.
You know what? We're going to do this.
break
tissue
the
box
down.
back.
Mike, we're going to force.
Tissue box back.
We're gonna force D-Gun and Seth to be rays of sunshine. Guys, what is one bright spot, one silver lining? What made you so excited during this game? Positivity only.
Without a doubt. I'm happy for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for Jonathan Gannon.
There you go.
There you go. That he finally found himself as a defensive play caller tonight. I'm going to be nice about it.
I'm going to agree with you, Seth. I'm going to tap into your defensive prowess and agree with you. I, as well as everybody, have been very critical of Jonathan Gannon. We have screamed about Jonathan Gannon's defense for 8 days leading up to this game. And many of us expected a similar performance compared to last week. This defense rose to the occasion. Jonathan Gannon blitzed more. You held this Minnesota offense to under 300 yards. Dalvin Cook, one of the elite running backs in the game, 17 yards rushing. One of the elite pass catchers in the game, and Justin Jefferson held to under 50 yards receiving. The offense put up almost 500 yards on a decent defense, not a great defense, a decent defense. So why did that offense do a lot of it? Because this defense put them in prime position with 3 picks and made them more comfortable, allowed them to play a lot looser. So, yes, for tonight, and I can't emphasize enough, because people are going to say, D-Gun's on the Gann wagon. I'm hanging off the back of the rail of the Gann wagon. Look, I'm hanging off the back of the rail of the Gann wagon right now. I'm not sitting in the driver's seat yet. I'm still hanging off. But I'm going to give the man his props tonight for what he dialed up against this Minnesota offense.
And if you think I'm going to put Jonathan Gannon over Jalen Hurts tonight in the best game of his career, you're crazy. Both of you guys are crazy.
We didn't
There's
say
one
over.
answer to that question.
What answer? No.
It's the quarterback.
It's multiple
with
answers.
The brightest spot tonight.
It's multiple answers.
No, listen. You have to be happy for Jalen because of all that he had to endure. I'm not denying that. Okay, but in order for this team to win and win consistently and get to where they need to be, they need to play complementary football. Okay. I expect for Jalen Hurts, unlike everybody else, because as an 8th round draft pick, the one thing that I know is that I will never question what drives and what motivates another player, because I've been in that position before.
Right.
Okay. I know what it feels like for there to be no expectations for me to make the team or no one to believe in me but me. Okay. So I never talk about what Jalen Hurts can or what he can't do, because I'm not in his heart. I'm not in his mind, and I'm not in his motivations until he showed me he can't do it.
Right.
I'm never going to question whether he can do it or not. Now that I've seen that he can do it, okay, I expect for him to step up and play on a more consistent basis like he played tonight. Is he going to light it up that way every single night? No. That's why you have 3 phases of the team. You've got a defense, an offense, and special teams. And every once in a while, the defense ain't going to show up, and the special teams and the offense has got to carry you.
That's right.
And vice versa. But this defense has got to play the way that they played
tonight.
Mike.
Get on the wagon, Mike.
In order for them to be successful.
Come on, Mike.
You're always looking ahead. You're always projecting. I, however, stay in the moment. That's why why I'm zen. Like,
hey, Mike,
I stay in the moment.
Mike, have you ever played?
Mike,
have you ever played?
People hear your name, they think of the word zen.
Right.
That's exactly what they equate your name
moment
with.
tonight is Jalen Hurts.
I have to
be
ask.
satisfied with it. I'm going to take it.
Listen, I have to ask the question, Mike. Have you played? Okay, because let me tell you something about this game.
Should I step back and let you two sit next to each other?
Those players.
No, you have to mediate.
Those players know full well that they got one night tonight to celebrate, and if you think that coaching staff hasn't already begun to work for next week,
right?
Because it ain't about what you did, it's about what's in front of you. And that's all that matters at this point, because you can't go back and do anything about the game that happened tonight. But you got an opponent coming up next week and a guy who you thought was going to be the franchise guy for this organization for the next 15 years, and he wanted out. I want to see the same what you saw tonight is what I want to see them do to Carson Wentz next week.
I do too.
Yep.
But Seth, just be happy.
I am happy.
Be happy.
I'm happy.
I'm
happy for Jalen.
See a smile.
I'm happy for Jalen. I'm happy for the defense. I'm happy for I'm happy for Gannon. I'm happy for Sirianni.
I feel
hey, listen, when the Eagles win, it's a good thing, man.
I feel very uncomfortable right now.
Tiga needs to take a moment.
Right.
He's not used to the positivity.
We're going to take a break. Look at that ice she's wearing. Look at it. Look, get a close up of that ice. Yeah, Mark's Jewelers Diamond
exceeding
debate.
40,000 maybe? 40,000?
Sure. We'll go with,
Yeah,
we'll go with
it's
50.
got
I bet you know, but you won't tell us.
It's easy 40.
Look, I'm not trying to put a hit price on my head here.
We got security all over the place here.
She's collected all this stuff. Like, it's going to be a different chain every week. And it's in her jewelry box.
She's getting free gifts, man. What are we
Yeah,
getting? A bottle of water? What the heck are we getting here?
Oops, I failed to return it. It's the Lehocky Eagles post-game show. We got some crazy folks here, and we got a lot of show left right here.
Can
We're
you give me a
back at
diamond
Ocean
ring?
Casino
I'll try to
after
hook it
this.
up.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.